Hi guys, welcome back to the Effing Guy. Today we're going to discuss the casting of the 14th Doctor. The 14th Doctor Who, but technically if you're going with the Chris Chibnall retcon, 14,000th Doctor Who. So obviously the other day there, we got confirmation, well we got sort of confirmation that Jodie Whittaker, the current Doctor, is leaving the show, and that the 14th Doctor is, you know, a mere months away. The BBC did come out, bang on when the news got released, and actually contacted Digital Spy contacted the BBC. The BBC gave the Digital Spy this quote, which is then obviously, you know, given to us. "We won't be commenting on any speculation around Jodie's future on the show," which basically, when you read in between those little fine lines, she's leaving. Right, that's it. This pretty much says, because they would have come out and said, fucking bullshit. Jodie would have come out and said, ah, shite, I'm happy, I love being the Doctor. She has said that, she did say in Entertainment Weekly, round about the beginning of December, like, you know, leading up to the New Year's Day special, that she loves this show, that she's not thinking about leaving. Yeah, we'll see. So we're going to talk today about who I would cast personally. We'll talk a wee bit about who the bookies are saying are the favourites. We'll talk a bit about, you know, who are fan favourites. So first of all, I'm going to go with probably my number one pick out of my list, like who is a definite, and that is Michael Sheen. Now Michael Sheen is a tremendous character actor. He would be a great Doctor Who. He would also be a good Master because he's got a bit of a kind of devilish, kind of like sadistic side to him. He's currently in Staged, which is this tremendous Zoom-inspired comedy series, like a mockumentary kind of thing. But it's fantastic, and he also stars alongside fellow thespian actor and Doctor Who himself, David Tennant. It's just a tremendous season. Series 2 just started on Monday there. It's so good, it's so good. Next is Chris Marshall. So Chris Marshall, you know, My Family, I think there's a dark series in the kind of mid-2000s, I think it was Funland, it's set in Blackpool. So dark and so brutal, but really well put together. Chris Marshall obviously went on to do Death in Paradise, that's went through like several revivals. I mean, that show is basically Doctor Who as well. I mean, like the amount of people who have taken over the main role of that, you know. Again, he's a very good actor. He's a very mature and kind of aged actor. So I think with his physique and his characteristics, with, you know, Death in Paradise, etc., he could be kind of Matt Smithy, kind of Peter Capaldi, kind of like a kind of happy-go-lucky, but also could be a bit kind of serious and kind of darker, and, you know, still be energetic, but also have that kind of, you know, old man mannerism about him. My ideal female Doctor, who I think she was rumoured, or she was a fan favourite, but straight away I said, if there's a female Doctor Who, I want to see her, and that is Tilda Swinton. It's just her look. She's just got that iconic hair. Her fashion is extraordinary, and I just think when I see her, I just think Doctor Who. I genuinely love John Boyega. Attack the Block, fantastic British sci-fi film. If you haven't seen it, it's so good. And in Star Wars, the sequel trilogy. And now I get that he got, you know, slightly shat on with the sequel trilogy. Never, you know, got shown his, or given his full potential, never got shown his full potential. The Force Awakens was promising. It kind of showed that there's something else that's, you know, lurking inside, you know, Finn. The Last Jedi came and never really spoke much about him. We're thinking, okay, they're obviously saving this big kind of reveal. You knew he was obviously Force sensitive or something. And then obviously the Rise of Skywalker came, and obviously, you know, it was like, you know, he was going to tell Rey, something, and that never ever came out. Nothing came out. Since then, obviously, J.J. Abrams came out in an interview and was just like, yeah, you know, of course Finn was Force sensitive. And we're just like, why didn't you show the fucking film then? Oops. So John Boyega, obviously he's voiced his opinion on the Star Wars franchise. He won't be back anytime soon. Same with Ray Fisher, but I'm not going to talk about those because it's just, especially the Ray Fisher situation. I would also love John Boyega as the first black James Bond. And next is, I can't ever say this guy's last name, Richard Iodi. Just like the picture I've got right now that I'll have in my video, he just screams Doctor Who. Like, he was rumoured to be the Doctor after David Tennant, Matt Smith, and Peter Capaldi. Like, David Tennant, no, I tell a lie. David Tennant, oh no, he was actually. And I remember him trolling Twitter and saying that he hopes he gets announced, because it was the day of the reveal of, you know, Jodie Whittaker, and I remember him saying like, oh, you know, good luck, I hope I get revealed as the next Doctor. I think he wants to be the next Doctor. I think he wants to be a Doctor, and it's just, I don't know, maybe he has been offered and he's just like, nah, I'm not going to be Doctor Who, shut up. But I'll troll it and be like, oh, I hope I'm the next Doctor. But yeah, I like him. He's fun. I mean, if you watch him in the custom, not even so much, you know, the IT crowd or his, you know, his stand-up and, you know, all that kind of stuff in interviews, but just the Crystal Maze, like, he literally is the Doctor. Like, it's just, and you know what's funny though? I kind of want him, if he ever was a Doctor, to have his cane that he has with the big hand from the Crystal Maze. That's so cool. It's like, fuck the sonic screwdriver, I'm going to bring on a cane with a fucking hand. Just a sonic cane. He's just bonkers, but he's such a good, I don't fucking know, he's just amazing. Like, just amazing. And this one's an odd one, and I think people will be like, what? No. And now I have got no clue how you actually pronounce his name. I think it's Owen. So Owen Grufford, who played Mr. Fantastic, Reed Richards, in the 2005 and 2007 Fox Universe Fantastic Four films. So they films are what they are, and Owen Grufford was a fantastic Mr. Fantastic. Now, I'm going to go way back here. I remember this man when he was in 102 Dalmatians, a live action movie, and also he was fucking Hornblower. Like, he was Hornblower, like Sean Bean was with, you know, Christ, Sharp on ITV. This man was Hornblower. He was Hornblower. Have you ever seen Hornblower? There's some fucking mental programs, by the way. Like, they were like 2 hours an episode. It was deep as hell. It's like TV movies on a boat with Robert Lindsay, you know, my family, Chris Marshall. See, it all comes together. So Owen Grufford, I like him. I think he's pretty good. Now, I know obviously he's in a cop investigation show in, I think, Australia, Harrow, which is on, like, you know, Sky Drama or something like that. I've seen bits of it, I'm like, yeah, it's alright, but you could be Doctor Who instead. Last one who I'm like, this is an interesting one. This is one that I really love. I love watching him in Friday Night Dinner, and he was rumoured to be the next Doctor after, you know, Peter Capaldi left, and that is Tom Rosenthal. I think it's Rosenthal. Tom Rosenthal. Yeah, there's not much else, because he's just funny. I like watching him in interviews. I like watching him in Friday Night Dinner. He's just an all-round, you know, fun package. He's charismatic, he's energetic, he just makes me laugh every time I watch him in Friday Night Dinner, and I think he'd be a very good Doctor. YouTube user James Levy, I've named you, yay, commented and said that Tom Ellis of Luther would be a very good Doctor, and that's the ones that I said at the very start of the video, Tom Ellis and Robert Carlyle. Now, Tom Ellis, yeah, he'd be a good Doctor, maybe a better Master. And I'm saying Lucifer, sorry. Maybe a better Master? I don't know, maybe. And then we have Robert Carlyle, Bobby Carlyle. I love Robert Carlyle. I love him in Trainspotting, love him in, fuck, what is it? He's in everything. You actually forget what he's in. He's in fucking hundreds of things. But Robert Carlyle, another fellow Scotsman, he's a very good actor. He's a matured and aged actor, like a good cheddar cheese, you know, and a good whiskey. He speaks extremely proper. That's nothing to do with the fact that he'd be a good Doctor. I think he'd be a good Doctor, but I think he'd be a better Master. Can you imagine a proper spoken Scottish Master? Oh, I think he'd be sadistic as fuck. I really would. So at the end of my, I think it's my Jodie Whittaker quitting video, which I'll leave the link in the description below, I briefly spoke about what if, and I said, no, I'm going to leave it for this video. So here we go. So John Bishop has been announced as, you know, Dan, the companion, the male companion for the 13th series of Doctor Who, which is obviously, you know, coming out this year. But I see him as the Doctor. I think he'd be a very good Doctor Who. And also, and my voice is going very high, what if? Now here's my massive what if situation. Now in the actual, you know, speaking about Dan, speaking of John Bishop joining Doctor Who video, I said, what if he's secretly going to be like another one of the versions of the Doctor? Because obviously we know there's thousands of versions out there, and there's rumours that like several more versions of the Doctor are going to pop up, you know, and you know, talk to, I was going to say play with Jodie Whittaker, quite good as a kind of like, you know, Dan, but actually he's the Doctor from like another fucking version of. But what if he actually, what if the BBC have, you know, pulled the rug from right below us, and actually it turns out that John Bishop is in fact the next Doctor, the 14th Doctor, but right now he's called Dan. Just like Benedict Cumberbatch in Star Trek Into Darkness, he was called John Harrison, but he was Khan, or Khan, because you say Khan, it sounds like Dan, Khan. So what if Dan, one can Dan, is actually the Doctor, the 14th Doctor? Who knows? That's pretty much my choice of Doctors, and that's pretty much who I would cast. Phoebe Waller-Bridge is one of the bookies want as well. Fans are calling out for Daniel Radcliffe. No. Anyway, comment down below who you would like to see as the 14th Doctor. Am I talking bullshit? Are these people terrible, terrible options? Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Thank you so much for your continued support. I really appreciate it from my small little channel. And I will see you guys in the next video.